Edward Johnson. Sit back and relax while we give you advice and tips on business matters and matters of the heart for busy executives. And now, Katrina and Edward. Hello, hello, hello. This is High Tea with Me with Katrina Brittingham, and we have an exciting guest on today, a fellow entrepreneur, entertainer all around. And we are going to be having our special guest, Norris Bennett, aka NB, the rapper, sanger. He don't just sing, he sang. Dude was born in Douglas, Georgia, not too far from where I am now. NB moved around a lot as a child due to his father's career in the military. Thank you for your service. I'm a military family person myself. While consistently traveling and discovering different cultures as well as environments, doors were open to many things. Eventually, it turned into his life mission to become an entertainer. Starting around the age of 4, NB would sing as well as perform for his family, friends, neighbors, and anyone around who was willing to listen. Whenever music came on, NB was front and center doing his thing. That was the start of his lifelong passion of music, singing, performing, as well as all around entertaining. Having a vision of controlling his own destiny, NB decided to make it happen independently for himself and South Georgia as a whole. NB became a man on a mission to be heard, seen, as well as taken seriously in the music industry. He set his sights on mastering his singing voice. Shortly after that, NB began to rap. In 2006, he decided to quit his job to pursue music full time. Although his influences are T.I., Ludacris, R. Kelly, Music Soul Child, T Pain, and Usher, MB strives to be different while standing out as an entertainer. That's continuing to grow and develop his talents. In 2010, he relocated to Florida, one of the best decisions that he made in his career. And of course, I lost myself. He spent some time in Orlando, Dayton, and other parts of Florida doing both radio and magazine interviews, mixtapes, and even having his acting debut on True TV's South Beach Toe Season 3, episodes 16, 17, and 18. He also appeared in the web series by Comedy Flow Entertainment. He was on Ballers, a new series for HBO starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson, playing a part of Vernon's crew. Finally, he was a part of Alvin and the Chipmunks Part 4 as Paparazzi. MB has recently inked a co publishing deal with Kicksta Music Publishing, BMI, to assist him with film and television placement opportunities. MB is currently has an EP out called Mr. Will You Throw It, as well as other movie and TV acting roles. Please be on the lookout for more to come from this extremely talented artist, actor, and entertainer. And so, for no further ado, let's bring MB on.
Yo, what's going on, man? I can tell I ain't right there. I was like, who's she talking about? For real, for real. Oh yeah. Oh, I did that. Oh yeah, I did that. Yeah. That's me. What's good, y'all? What's good, world? It's a pleasure for me to be here, man, and it's an honor, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, to wrap up the year. This is dope.
I met this wonderful young man through Facebook. He reached out to me. I was like, "Hello, hi, how you
Yeah,
doing?"
the
And
grind don't stop. The grind don't stop.
And I heard this story and I was like, oh, I need to get you on the show. Because one of the things that I talk about is business and doing things on your own. Same thing, I'm a self made person. And when they read my bio too, I'm like, wow, that sounds like a really great person. Oh, that person really did a lot. Um,
Right.
and so he has a phenomenal story um, of doing what he does. Everyone who watches the show know music is me. I used to do a lot of singing, trying to get myself back and everything. Also has a story of recovery and healing, and we're going to get into that. So actually, I want to actually start with that, and we want to talk a little bit about your history and going into music. I'm sure there were some highs and lows. Maybe talk about that a little bit.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Well, again, like you said, like somebody said, like you repeated, but somebody wrote in the background. I started at the age of 4. You know what I'm saying? Military. When they get into the barracks, everybody get to drinking and the parents get to socializing. I was always the child that wanted to be around all the grown people to show what I could do. You know what I'm saying? So that pretty much kind of broke my, what I'm saying, scaredness. I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared to be in front of people. That opened me up a little bit. And I guess being traveled because of my dad being in the military, it opened up doors of cultures of different things that normally the person that come from where I come from would have never been able to. You know what I'm saying? See.
Hmm.
So that opened up my mind towards where things could really go for me. That was actually a plus of me understanding, how Koreans think and just being able to see more than just what the black people or the white people. I was able to see everything, all nationality, you know, and that was definitely a plus. In as I got older, to be able to utilize those different skills to communicate and as well as make music.
Awesome, awesome. You mentioned traveling different places. That definitely helps you because you can see the world. You don't necessarily have any biases of different cultures. You also appreciate what you have because I've traveled so myself, and it made me appreciate what I have. The freedoms that we have that other cultures don't necessarily have. It also helped me to just become a more rounded person because when you can hear about cultures, but it's one thing to be immersed in it. So that I'm sure that helped you and helped you to interact with different people, which did aid you in your career. So tell us a little bit
Tremendously,
about that.
tremendously. It was, to me, I call it like a cheat sheet. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm able to come to the hood, right, and still fit in with them. And then I'm also able to adapt outside of the hood, almost like a chameleon. You know what I'm saying? And blend into those things that, and then even work on deals and work with people outside the culture that would never truly work with me. I'm able to communicate, and that's what he's like. Well, you're a cool dude. So I kind of broke the stereotype. They got this stereotype about dudes with dreads or whatever. They're not, you know what I'm saying, as they don't talk well, they don't speak well, they don't, you know what I mean? But we try to break the norm of that. We try to break that stereotype. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh, trust me, I definitely do.
Right, right. There you go. There you go. Breaking that. It's a little
I
bit more better for you all ladies. You know what I mean? The dudes, it ain't. I only can speak for myself. I ain't know. I know it don't matter what I did in life. I'm still look like as a thug and a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, you know what? It just is what it is, and it comes with the complexion. Um, having to break through those stereotypes, breaking through the norm because even in corporate, like this wasn't considered professional for a long
right. Okay. That makes sense. That
and
makes sense.
having to assimilate to that. And then when I first began to wear locks and everything like that, it was becoming a little more accepted, but I found that certain opportunities were not given. Or when I walked in a room, they thought that I was a loud, ghetto, angry black woman
Gotcha.
until I opened my mouth and started speaking, and they were like, "Oh, you're
Right.
you're
There you go.
smart for." a black girl. I just can't be smart. I have to be smart for a black girl.
There you
So
go.
I totally get that.
That's crazy.
I totally get when you walk in the room, people will judge you because you have the backwards hat, you have the locks, you happen to be dark skinned and everything like that. But breaking through those barriers are the victories that we get to have. I like the fact that you were multifaceted, because it was like, okay, when I first spoke to you, it was like, oh, I rap. Then I saw your bottom, like, oh, he sings too. Well, sangs. Let's get it
Well,
right. He sangs too. And I was just like, okay. And then I went to, because I'm nosy. I went to your page and I said, wait a minute, he has a whole entertainment thing going on, and everything like that. So to have your total package to be independent is a huge, huge thing. So can you tell us why you decided to go independent as opposed to signing with a label?
well, I've already had experience. I've been in the entertainment business for 18 years, period. So I've signed bad deals with the record labels, and I've seen that whatever they was trying to do for me, because it's hard to try to match up with a guy of my unique abilities. You know what I'm saying? That
Mm-hmm.
could be able to sing, it could be able to rap, which is the norm right now. But when I first started doing it, trust me, it wasn't the norm 18 years ago. It was
Mm-hmm.
something to the point to where you need to pick one. You need to
Mm-hmm.
pick one. And I don't want to give these labels no love and no shout outs because obviously it didn't work. I'm independent. But one thing I can say was they was trying to either get me to rap or get me to sing. They wanted me to pick one because at that time, 2005, 6, that was unheard of. That was something that was whoa. But now that is the norm now. So now my
Mm-hmm.
strength that I had 18 years ago is now a plus for me now. And labels
Right.
are still trying to holler at me. No, thank you. We good. We finally got what we wanted. I'm able to use all of my gifts instead of you telling me to pick one.
Exactly.
So,
And
but just to
uh,
piggyback off of that, now I don't have to go through the middleman. I am the middleman. I go direct to consumer. Why
mm-hmm.
would I? Because I have a marketing company. I just want to break down all the things I do have. I do have a marketing company. I created my own marketing company, MB Promotions, to help other artists as well as me. So I use my own marketing company and the people that I've hired to market my stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
now I'm going directly to the consumers. I don't have to deal with the labels, no middleman, nothing. I am the plug. You get what I'm saying? I'm going
Mm-hmm.
directly to you. The way you say I hit you up, it's the same way I hit my fans up. I got a new shoe out. I got a this. I got a that. I go directly to them. So it's so easy. And if
Mm-hmm.
you rock with me, you will support me. Yeah.
And that's absolutely true. It's funny that you say that, because um, being on your own, being solo, it has so many perks to it. It's a lot of work, but it has a lot of perks. You can go directly to people. Because basically, when you reached out to me, you reached out to the CEO of the company. I was like, oh, well, who is this young man? And
There
he
you
reached
go.
out to me like he knew me, and I'm like, who is this? Who is this? And everything like that. But and I give everyone a chance. I'm an executive coach, and everything like that. So I help businesses and stuff like that. So I was open to it, but it just really surprised me because people don't necessarily hit me up directly and just starts talking to me like, we just saw each other yesterday walking down the
Right.
street
But
or
see, the
something.
thing is,
Um,
my whole
so
motto is a closed mouth can't get fed, right? And if
so
you understand how to communicate, if you
mm-hmm,
communicate on a level to where you're doing it by yourself, you can't be scared of a no. What is a no? A no means, okay, you dropped the ball. I'll go to somebody else. You get what I'm saying? So a
right,
no has never intimidated me.
right.
Okay. I'm already pretty successful at all the stuff that I've done, everything I've touched with gold. Shout
Mm-hmm.
out to my gold record drink, so me independent. So everything I've literally touched, I've succeeded in. So I know that this interview would have been great if I would have got the opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
And the opportunity you did get and did impress, by how professional you were, and that's what I tell people. When you come, just be professional, because for me to put you out on a platform or to open up my network to you, I have to be able to trust you because I'm not just putting you out there, I'm putting my name out there.
Correct.
And I
Correct.
need to make sure that you are going to present me well. And when I spoke to this young man, he presented himself well. He was going through some health issues at the time and was like, all right, can you just give me a couple of weeks? I'm like, sure, just heal and we will do that. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere. Um,
Woo. You want to talk about that? We can go ahead and talk about that and get that back.
Sure. So, just talk to the audience and let them know what you went through. Also let them know how it affected you and your business because I'm sure you had to take some downtime.
All right. So when I hit Miss Lady Katrina, when I hit her, I was I was out of here. I was pretty much weak, couldn't move, but it's still that go getter mentality in my head that because I've been diagnosed with this thing, nobody is doing this. I have all these computers. Those are my assistants. I have computers all over my office. These are my assistants. These are the people I trust. The computer, not man. So
Mhm.
with that being said, I felt the need to have to do something. If I do something one day and reach out to one person one day at a time, then that makes me feel like I did something. But let's just go back. All right, so I didn't really know what was going on with me. I have a lot of energy. I'm 43 years old and I move around like a 20-year-old with swag. 43, I don't adapt to that. You feel me? So with that being said, something was going on. I walked upstairs and get tired. I used to have extra amount of Gatorade and extra water that I never really. Why I'm drinking all this water? Why is my breath? Why I can't catch my breath? So what happened was, as I'm going through all this stuff, the water that normally would hit your, what I'm saying, kidneys and your liver was going straight to my heart. It was bypassing everything, and all the water was just sitting right here. And I'm sitting here. That's why I couldn't breathe. So I'm saying to myself, trying to be superhero, trying to be Hercules. Almost lived a total healthy life my whole life. Never been really sick. I'll be all right. I'm just gonna go. I'll be all right. I ain't gotta go to the hospital. You know how black men, excuse me, I'm just saying, a lot of black men can
Yes.
see problems and understand things and be scared to go to the doctor. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I was one of those. I mean, I know it's a stereotype, but I'm letting you know it's real. And I was just like, nah, I'm all right. I'll be all right. I'll be all right. So finally, one of my homegirls came through, and I said, I gotta go to the hospital. Whatever I got to do, I got to get this stuff off of me. I know that's water because my mom went through the same thing. I got to get this stuff off of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was going to be very something, boom, boom, flush it out, go about my business. No. As soon as I got there, they did all these tests on me. I had to go to emergency surgery. The doctor told me if I'd have stayed there another 6 to 7 hours, I would have been out of here.
Mm.
So to make a long story short, I had the surgery. I was diagnosed with heart failure, heart disease. My heart was pumping at 10%, just to give you that
Wow.
10%. So whatever the muscles that was needed to pump the fluid where it needed to go at, my heart couldn't do it. That's why I was building up here.
Mm.
Yeah. So so when I came back to my hometown of Douglas, Georgia, I was weak, but something told me to hit you up regardless, because I have this go-getter mentality to the point to where if I'm not doing something, I feel like a failure. Even
Mm-hmm.
though I've accomplished all this stuff that I've accomplished, I still feel like a failure if I don't make this attempt to do something throughout my day.
Right.
That's what happened, how I reached out to you.
Wow.
And I
And
told you, give me 2 weeks. I'm
yes.
gonna Rocky. You know how Rocky did in that movie? I'm gonna train, I'm gonna get myself, and look at here. 2, 3 weeks later, I got my energy back. The pills that doctor prescribed for me got me, what I'm saying, energetic. I don't feel like my heart is coming out my chest no more. And I feel like God is working on me.
And that's awesome. Because see, you have like I told you when we had that discussion, I was like, because you have more to do. And I was like, watch and see what he does. And everything like that. I was like, you're gonna get back. because you still have a lot to do. When I heard his story, actually read it, and everything like that, I was like, wow, like, he went through a lot of stuff. Um, I had told him, I said, look, I had the same thing. I was doing great, um, was short of breath and everything. Went into the ER. They admitted me. I was in critical care. They was like, we don't even know if you can going to make it through the night. And I was going to the doctor. I worked in healthcare.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Um, and
Wow.
so I was having my regular routines and everything. It's like, oh, everything's great. And then one day it just wasn't. And it just always hits me because when you are a business owner, and again, you have your computers, and that's who you trust. Once you get to that, business stops. So I like to bring that up for entrepreneurs because this is the side that people do not talk about, the human side, that at the end of the day, something could come to just throw you off. Like you're in business and then all of a sudden you're not doing anything. I lost 3 contracts, huge contracts for my company, in that time, because I was like, okay, look, I don't know when I'm coming out, and everything like that. Can we hold? Well, no, they still had to get business done. And it's like, so what do you do when you're at the top of your game and you're doing the shows and you're doing the music and you're out there and everything like that, and then like in a moment that's all snatched away, and to get back up to that point where it's like, all right, I got to get up and I got to keep going. And what God will do. And I told you, I said, look at what I was like, you're gonna come back, and I'm like, look at what God's gonna do. It's just gonna be like, this was just a stopover, for you to get to where you needed to be. And here he is, like he's talking like he never even went through that. And that was like 3 weeks ago. It was delayed for a week because we had another guest that he was like, I can come this week. I'm like, I got another guest. Can you do the next week? But it's just the whole thing that from coming from that, after coming, the 2 weeks after that, that to have you speaking like you are so lively, that is God. And when you have God in your business, like that, it makes a big difference, and everything like that. So I am so proud of you. I want to say young man, but you're about the same age as me. So
Hey, don't let the dimples in the. Don't let the baby face fool you. Hey, hey, but I take it though. It's a compliment.
we just I'm just happy. I love for our people to be doing something great. And when you talk to them, it's like, okay, I got this going, I got that going. You mentioned that you have a sneaker out. Please talk to us about that. After we do that, we are going to go for a short commercial break because got to pay bills, and everything on this show, and everything like that. And I'm letting you know, you're speaking to the world. We are in 179 of the 189 countries out there. So you're going to have people listening from all languages and everything about your sneakers. So there you go. Do your commercial right now.
All right, so I want everybody to really tune in to this great sneaker that I designed, imported from Italy. This created in Italy. It's called the NBDG shoe. For me, I named it NB because my name is NB Norris Bennett, but I also want to show love to my hometown of Douglas, Georgia. My hometown is Douglas, Georgia. So and while I'm gone doing all the things that I'm doing, I wanted them to have something that they could say that somebody from our city created and represented us. NBDG. You can go get them at www. I got 3 pairs. I got the gray and black, the red and black, and the pink and black. Shout out to October. I gave away a lot of them for October Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I made sure that I did that. I'm a giver. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's why God keep blessing me. But y'all can go to my website. I think we'll probably have it here or we'll have it in the description. It's yourboynb.com. ITSYABOIN.B.com. You know what I'm saying? And we can go grab them drinks on me. Uh, Mask, shirts, everything is on there. You know what I'm saying? It's a one-stop shop, almost like Walmart. You know what I'm talking about? You can't beat it. So yeah, NBDG is very important to me. I really wanted a alcohol brand. We'll talk about that later because I know we're finna go on commercial. But when I decided, when this company hit me up and said that we want to partner up with you with this shoe brand, why not? Let's get it. NBDG. It's a very comfortable shoe. It's Italian suede and leather. It's a very comfortable shoe as well. When you put it on, you're gonna think you're walking in socks, but you're walking in style.
All right. So I just want to make sure I have this right. You said NBDG.
That's the shoe. The website is ITS
Wait a minute.
YA.
Give me 1 second. Because again,
All right.
I'm doing this myself. So let me make sure that I have that. So
ITS
that's
YABOI.
wait a minute. This is acting funny on me. Give me 1 second. And you said www.its.
YABOI. N as in Nancy, B as in boy.com. You can go right there to my website and you will see the shoes as you scroll down. They'll be right there, all three colors. All you do is click on the shoe that you want. Voila, magic.
All right. So we're gonna get this right here.
And this is what I'm gonna do because of the people that's on this show. If they could tell me that they bought the shoe and they found the link from this show, I'll give 30% off.
Oh shucks, 30% off. Just mention this show. High tea with me.
It's your YA.
Why?
BOI. Take away the E.
What?
ITS YA BOI
E.
NB. Like it's your boy NB.
Oh, it's
Boy BOI NB.
boy. There you go. All right. All right. We gotta get this right.
Right. 30% off. I'm doing it right now. Whoever can tell me that I seen you on. All right. It's your boy NB. Yep. That's it.
There you go. So that's how you get the shoe. Mention this show.
Mention that show. Mention the show right now, and I'll give you 30% off.
So there you go. I'm gonna put that up a little bit later. We're about to go to commercial, and when we come back, we're gonna have more of Mr. NB.
From one-on-one executive coaching to our business building concierge service, Venture Ready helps entrepreneurs, startup executives, and business owners build, scale, and run their businesses using techniques that support stability and long-term growth. Through the Career GPS radio show and High Tea with Me TV program, we promote smart business strategies for the real world. Then, in our one-on-one coaching programs, we help entrepreneurs go beyond the vision board to realize their big vision into a tangible business with a promising future. If you're waiting to feel legit, here's the thing: you have to legitimize yourself. It's time to stop treating your business like a hobby. Get real, it's your career. So let me ask you, are you venture ready?
All right, so we are back from the commercial. That was our sponsor, the parent company, Venture Ready, the owner of Venture Ready Broadcasting Network. We do executive coaching. We help you get your business together financially, make sure your foundation is together. So make sure you reach out. Also, guests and sponsors can reach out to info@ventureready.net. If you need a coach, info@ventureready.net. We got you covered. All right. And we are back, and I am going to switch this out again for the shoe. 30% off. Mention this show. All right. I am the marketing queen. Okay. So make sure that you get that sneaker. Make sure that you support I keep wanting to say, young man, you are still young, because I'm still young. This young man in his business. Sometimes I don't feel as young, but I'm still young. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we support each other. We support so many different things, so many different people who are not living a virtuous life, who doesn't care anything about us, but support us. If you are even in music and you sing, reach out to my young brother. He can help you. He is someone who will not use and abuse you, as so happens in the music industry. I know, again, because like I said, I was in it. Singing, recording, doing all of that, going all over. The East and some of the West and everything like that. And it's so many people who will use you in this industry. So when you have someone that you can trust, when you have someone who has the experience that can put you in front of people, make sure you get to him. If you need some grooming, he will have to groom you, because again, music is a business. So sometimes people, and that's what I tell people, sometimes people go into business, or I'm starting my own so I could do my own thing. Yes, but there are still business rules, because you're going to have to walk in front of the people who are making the deals, and they do follow certain rules. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Because again, you have those people, and with social media, you have the shows where people are fighting and stuff and making money, and they do, but a lot of them, if you look at them, they have no longevity because they don't have that grooming that they need to be sustaining in this. Like, you have to have, it's great to have a talent, but you got to have that business and that business savvy, especially if you do not want someone to take advantage of you, because you have people who are signing contracts and they don't even know what's in the contract. They don't know enough to say, okay, I need somebody who knows business that can tell me what this fine print means before you actually sign on that dotted line. And I'm gonna just let him go with that.
All right, so look, this is the first thing. A lot of these young artists and these newer artists out here, the goal is to have a record deal. That is the, you know what I mean? I guess that's the thing that people kind of market a little bit. The labels market, because you see this and you see that. But behind the scenes, most of your favorite rappers, singers, songwriters are broke. This is
Hmm.
all a facade. You get what I'm saying? See, people don't realize that when you sign a major deal, say for instance, they give you $1 million, that $1 million is not to put in your pocket. You still got to be taxed, and you still got to be able to fund other things that you have going on as far as your career, your look, your everything. You might not see no money if you sign a contract for three albums, maybe 5 years. You might
Hmm.
not see nothing until 5 years into your whole contract, which is 3 albums. You're pretty much giving them the albums for free.
Yeah.
They're making the money off of it while you're going to get paid that $1 million that you got a tax on it. So you think about it, it's only 400,000. And then
Hmm.
out of that, what you gonna do with that? It's up to
Hmm.
you, because that's the only money. If you create businesses and do other things, not buying chains and buying cars, now you're going into the only money you're gonna get. That's why you get a lot of these rappers that sign major labels to create their own lifestyle, to create their lifestyle. They're still in the streets because they want to create that persona and keep that persona going. That now
Hmm.
all this money is gone. Now they got to have one foot in the street and one foot, because they didn't manage their money correctly.
Hmm.
So I always tell people, have a plan. If you're an independent artist and you only want to be independent, I don't recommend nobody going to the labels anymore. You got direct access to the consumers now. You got all
Hmm.
this. You got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. One viral moment, and you're out of here. You got these things at your disposal. Master
Hmm.
your craft first of all, because you got to be able to create a fan base or create a niche to somebody who wants to hear what you got to offer. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? It ain't when she said, when she wrote in my, well, somebody else wrote in my bio, T-Pain, I don't traditionally sound like these people, but I took bits and pieces from all of these people and created me. Nobody
Hmm.
don't want no another T-Pain. Nobody don't want no another Ludacris or Future or Usher or Chris Brown. They want you. So what makes you different? That's
Exactly.
why you got to start creating a fan base that understands who you are. When you
Hmm.
create that fan base, it might start off small. Don't try to rush it. Rome was not built in one day. Sometimes it takes 2 fans, 15 fans, 30 fans, 50 fans. and it builds. And guess what you're doing with your fan base? You're growing with them. You're
Mm-hmm.
educating yourself on how to deal with them and what they like. You
Mm-hmm.
could expect respect that even more. Then automatically sign a record deal. Boom, they put you on these big platforms. They give you a couple dollars, but if you don't show and prove, they drop you, and then you're gonna be labeled a one-hit wonder.
Yep.
That ain't the look you want. What? And then you get this barbershop talk. What happened to such and such? Nah, when you're independent, you have a, I would say, a sense of protection because they know that you're putting your own money up. And if you accomplish things like get a gold record and you would be able to invest in yourself and get your own shoe line and a couple other businesses, then you look at it as a genius and
Mm-hmm.
not going to these labels taking their money. You're looking at a success story of using your own money and still create success because you believe in yourself. And with that being said, believing in yourself, then that's when other people will pour into your vision when you
Mm-hmm.
believe in yourself. So it starts there, building your fan base up, being consistent. A lot of people want to be lazy, one post a day. No, I say post 4 to 5 hours out of your day. Guess what? This is your business. Nobody cares about your business like you should.
Right.
This is free. Put about 4 hours onto the internet. Those 4 hours are going to generate something. If they didn't click it that first hour, the third hour they will, or the fourth hour they will. You got to guerrilla market this thing because eventually, if they see you come up on a timeline enough, they will press play. And
Right.
once you already mastered your craft and you know what you're doing, and you know how to engage to sell them, you won as an independent.
Exactly.
Instead of you selling your stuff for 0.000 cents to a record label, that's how much you're gonna get. Now, if you sell your stuff $10, guess how much you get? $9.50. And the distributor get the other little taxes. You're
Mm-hmm.
going directly to consumer.
Mm-hmm.
So now you really truly have a legit business because you made money. You're not a rapper. I don't want to break nobody's heart. You're not a singer. You're not an entrepreneur if you have not sold a product.
Yeah, that is so
I'm
true.
sorry. But stop this. You're not a rapper unless somebody bought your stuff.
And that is true. Like, um, honestly, until somebody buys it, it's a hobby.
It's a hobby.
And that's even the way the government looks at that, because they want their piece, and to be able to take the taxes. You said a lot of great things, because even if you sign with a label, it's a lot to get out of it. You can't just get out of a contract,
Yeah.
and everything like that. It's a lot of red tape. They'll try to fine you. If they've given you upfront money, you're going to have to pay all of that back. There is so much that goes into, I mean, I can go on forever. Was there being a singer, singing all around, not getting paid, and everything like that. And the people who were promoting you were getting paid, and I'm going back home to my home, um, and everything like that, just as broke as I was before I went out. And so you have to make sure that you have your ducks in a row. Honestly, actually, what made me even go into business was being in music, because I'm like, wait a minute, how are we traveling all around? And I'm paying at my expense sometimes to go and travel, the wardrobe, the makeup, all the stuff that goes on there, and you have crowds of people. Oh my gosh, you sound so great, da 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 da, and not a dime, and so you have to make sure that you are covered. Like I said, like he said, because of the internet, because when I was doing it, the internet wasn't out there like that. You can get to a lot of people. It does take work. Anything that is worth having is going to take some time. If you even speak to the bigger rappers who have made it, they'll tell you the amount of time that they have put into this. Keep that stuff rolling out, keep yourself in front of people, be consistent when you're putting this stuff out, because like you said, it's going to take at least 10 hits. And when I mean 10 hits, that means 10 posts or whatever, consistently in front of people, maybe even per day for one person. But you never know who that one person will be that can blow you up, that can be your evangelist. That's the same thing as if you're a regular entrepreneur. You have to be out there. You have to push things through. Like people will see, like when I had this show coming up, I had so many hits, and I was on different platforms, putting it out there to say, look, we're this is our guest, this is who we're going to have out here. You'll see it even regularly with my own flyers when I don't have a guest out here saying, look, we're out here, this is what we're doing, and everything. And you'll have people for so many times that will listen and won't even reach out. But then all of a sudden you'll have all these people. I heard your show. It got to the point I was walking down the street. People were like, I heard your show. And I'm like, did you? And everything like that. So that's how it is even with your music. Man, I heard this young artist, this new artist, and the sound is this, and everything. And you'll have people just promoting you. So you definitely said some good things, and I knew you would, and I knew people would listen because you're in music. And if I try to say something about music, they're like, you're just a business person. But
no, actually, it goes hand in hand. I do want to say something about what you said with music and music and learning. It was almost like boot camp for you when you got into business, because the music industry is the hardest, toughest business and the most cutthroat business you're gonna go through. And for you to be able to utilize some of those things that you went through and brought it over to business, that's your that's the perfect teacher. You know what I'm saying? Failure and the things that you know not to do into this music business. Now I know I can tweak it in this business here. It's all business at the end of the day. Why you think the Jay-Z's and the Rick Rosses and the young Jeezys that had the street mentality of quote unquote street dudes drug dealing, they end up turning a lot of their things that they were doing on the street and just utilized and applied it in the music industry. And that's why it works for them. I wouldn't say it works for everybody, but it applied and they worked it because they mastered it. You know what I'm saying? One thing I do want to say is this, and this is another part of the business that I do want to tell people. Everybody not born to do music. Right. Everybody not born to sing. Everybody not born to rap. Everybody not born to do this. There's so many jobs in the entertainment business. If that's truly not your calling, you want to do it because your cousin is good at it, or because you see people on TV, reevaluate yourself, because it costs a lot of money to put this thing out here. It costs a lot of money to start a career. So be prepared for the losses before you ever get the game. And if you're not in it because you love it and you're truly gifted, then you're wasting your money. You should be putting it somewhere else.
That's so true. And I tell people, even entrepreneurs, everyone is not meant to be an entrepreneur, because there is a cost. What it is people see the end result and they're like, oh, wow, I want to be that. That's why I tell people, find out what you want to do. Find out what your passion is. Find out even what your calling is. Like, people throw that around, but really find out what it is. Because when the days get hard, that's what drives you. And trust me, it's going to be a lot of hard days. It's going
to be way more than it is great. Trust me.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of detractors, and everything like that. It's going to be a lot of people when you are of color, and if you are a woman of color, where they're patting you on the head, oh baby, just go over there and sit there. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to go over there and sit in the corner, and everything like that. And sometimes you just have to go through the hazing phase, because people do this. And in business and in music, I was there where they was like, oh, that's a dime a dozen person, because they see thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of aspiring actors, aspiring music people, aspiring entrepreneurs. Like I would sit in rooms with CEOs who were making a whole lot of money, like millions of dollars, and they would just sit there. Matter of fact, like, well, so-and-so just went out of business, and they only been in business for a year or 2 years. Oh, I knew they wasn't going to make it. So to sit here and have this gentleman was like, I'm in this for 18 years. I've been doing this for 18 years. I've been doing this as an entrepreneur for 10. Like, that's not a small thing. Like, we had to go through the paces, and it's like, are you really up for it? Are you really up for the nose? Are you really up for people laughing in your face? Are you really up for people just pushing you to the side because it's like, they don't have it? Are you up for getting your professional game together, getting your taxes together? Because one of the biggest things that get entrepreneurs, that get people that are acting, that get people who are in entertainment is taxes. And trust me, they are
For
going to
sure.
come for you. Okay. And they are worse than bill collectors. They want their money. Okay. And they put you in prison for not having your money. Okay. So
That was one of my first when I 2000 and I would say 10. Yeah, that was the first slap in my face. I created a whole company, had the apparel and everything. I didn't know that in the company, in the thing that I did, you had to turn in your taxes each month.
yes.
I didn't know that. See, this is financial literacy. I just had the little bread. Boy, after that year, they taxed me. They gave me an estimate of what they thought I made and taxed me $10,000. I was like, huh? Where at? Where? This is my first year in business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. If you don't know it and have the mindset, another thing that comes out of your pocket is a financial advisor, an accountant, and everything like that. Like people laugh at all of the initials that are at the bottom of my name, but that's because I went to learn that. I'm not an accountant necessarily because I wanted to be. I'm an accountant because well, first of all, I needed to count my own money, but I had relatives who had businesses that went to accountants and they straight screwed them over because they knew that they did not know what they were doing. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go to business school. I am going to get my, accounting information, and I am going to be able to do my books until I can hire somebody. And when I hire them, trust me, I'm going to be checking and double checking to make sure they're not getting private jets off my money and I just don't know. Um, so these are the things that you need to know. There are people in place. Like I said, come and see this gentleman. He knows what he's doing. You need someone to help you build your business side. You have an executive coach right here that will tell you what you need to do to get your
I
business
also I
matters
also
together.
want you to I also want you to plug in my I create websites as well. I'm a jack of all trades. And I want them to be able to go to my website is www.nbpromotions with two S's
All
dot
right.
com. And y'all can hit me right up on that one, and we can work out a package for you and get your buzz up and get everything going the way you need to go. That way you can bypass the middleman, build your fan base up, and we can work because you can work with once a client is with me, they work hands on with me. You know what I'm saying? Once a client of somebody who raps, sings, models, small businesses, it doesn't matter. As long as it's something that, you know what I'm saying, that you're trying to brand, it's needed. That is promotions with two S's.com. You know what I'm
Promotions with
saying?
two S's. Okay.
I was talking to somebody the other day. McDonald's is the biggest brand almost in the fast food in the world. But guess what? You're gonna turn on the TV and see commercials. And you ask yourself, why does McDonald's still need commercials? Because they're still competing with everybody else. You know?
Yeah, they are. They're competing with Burger King, Five Guys, and
Right.
Five Guys came
And
out
even though you
later than that.
already you already got what you like about them, but guess why? They still spend $1 million a year or $2 million because yep,
Um,
NB Promotions. That's my marketing company. That's so if anybody wants to do business with me, I start 1 week $25. So obviously, as you can tell, I'm not somebody who's trying to break the bank. Don't need that. That's just one of my streams of income while I'm trying to help the artist and not break the bank.
right.
NB
And
Promotions with 2s.com. That's it. You can
mhm.
reach out to me. We can get you. We can start off if you want to build up trust with me. We can start off 1 week. We can do 1 month. We can do 6 months, or we can do a whole year. And that's why that's why the way you build up your fan base. Your fans know you. You know them, And now you don't need a record label because now you got 20,000 followers, 15,000 followers that you can go directly to when you got a new product you're trying to sell. That's music, that's modeling pictures, that's business, that's anything. Social media can be used for anything. Don't put yourself in a box. This box is big. You have a world out here.
Mm-hmm. And you want someone building your website that knows the music industry, because it's a different type of website to promote your music, to promote, for example, I have this in these shows and things like that. I have to have a specialized website to hold that information. And
Right,
so
right.
you need somebody that knows how to do that. Not just any web developer can do that. So you want to make sure that you have someone who knows the industry to know how to have your music out there and present it well. I tell people you need a website. A lot of people say, oh, you don't need a website with social media. You actually do, because you need a place for them to go once they like your stuff.
I'm gonna say this. Let me, and I'm gonna say something right on top of what you just said because you said some real. What if Twitter shuts down? What if Facebook shuts down? What if SoundCloud or whatever, Instagram shuts down? You still got you still got what buzzer.com.
Mm-hmm.
You still can talk to your people. So
Mm-hmm.
don't rely on this stuff. Use it while it's free. I would say don't use it as a crutch. Use it while it's free, but don't rely and depend on it. Have your backup plan, which is your website.
Exactly. Exactly. And, because people say, oh, Facebook is always going to be around. Well, Facebook is laying off a whole bunch of people because they having some financial
You know
difficulties.
how many times China them hacked Facebook? And I ain't want to make it political, but I'm saying it don't take much for somebody to be hacked
It
and,
doesn't.
and destroyed. I mean, I
It,
think a lot of people thought Snapchat and what's the other thing, Vine. These companies are now pretty much null and void.
mm-hmm.
So don't rely on these companies. Elon Musk bought Twitter, and the way Twitter going on right now, and the stocks and everything, I hope it stay. I got a lot of followers over there, but if it don't, you still got to have your backup plan,
That
which
is
is your
true.
website.
That is true. We have Twitter, you have Meta, which is a part of Facebook, um, and everything like that. Don't put your product in the hands of someone else, because they can invest poorly, or they can decide to pull out. Okay, you know what? This isn't worth my money, or my time anymore. They could decide to do something else, and everything like that. And then what are you gonna do?
Perfect
So
example, because I think that me
yeah,
and you probably came into the same kind of world at the time. I was a MySpace baby. When they pulled MySpace and I was doing music, I thought the world ended.
yes. I had MySpace. Actually, I went a couple years ago and I'm like, wow, this MySpace page still exists? Because I
It's
Googled
still
myself.
up. They just ain't doing no
Yes.
marketing. They ain't changed
I
nothing about
Googled
it.
myself
You
and I
know,
was like, my MySpace page was there. And I went back. Number one, it was reminiscent because I'm like, wow, this is where I was at this point in my life. But I was just like, that was the biggest thing. That's actually was the thing before Facebook.
it was the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only thing that would got me. That would told me that I had something to offer because I'm
Mm-hmm.
from a small town and but they about 20,000 at that time. And for me to go from that to put my music on MySpace and have people all over the world like, yo, you the one. I'm like, all
Mm-hmm.
right, I like this MySpace. Let's keep this going. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? So yeah,
Yeah, that was the place. I connected with people in the music industry because at that time I was actually into music,
right.
and everything like that. And you see my tweets where I was talking to someone who was like, up and coming at that time. Um and I'm that was amazing to me because I'm like, wow, he's like, oh, I'm touring in China. And I'm like, I'm in Philadelphia. And everything like that.
Well, MySpace gave you a direct access to celebrities, just like
Hmm.
now I think all this other stuff are doing it now. MySpace was doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
People, Mary J. Blige would be on there saying, "I love your music." Yeah, these people was already, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Oh, they was on that thing trying to find new talent. And then this is when at that time, and that's a long another for another discussion. But that's the time when Drake got signed. Uh,
Hmm.
and guess who was supposed to go there? to the Cash Money in Miami meeting. This is the time when the rapper singer thing was starting to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
My mama couldn't afford it, but guess who could? Drake.
Right. Right.
So he
Right.
went,
Right.
and the rest is history. But they
And the
did
rest
want
is
me to as well.
and the rest is history. So just to sum everything up is that you have to have your business together. You have to have your business sense together. There are practical steps. There are reason why big corporations, yeah, they're on social media, but they have a website for you to go to. So these things are not obsolete and everything like that. You just have to have your stuff together and be prepared. Nobody was prepared, not even the music industry, when COVID hit.
No.
And everything. I kind of was, because I was already pretty much virtual. When I started my business 10 years ago, I started virtual, and everybody was like, oh no, you need an office. And as soon as COVID happened, they were like, wow, like that was really smart, because now I had to figure out what to do with my office space that now is non-existent. I still have this lease, but we can't even go to it. So you have to have that foresight. You have to have your backups. You have to have your data, your music backed up. And there's a thing of protecting your music, even when because once you put it out there on social media, everybody has access to it. So you got to make sure you have your copyrights. It is not the same as a trademark. I keep telling people that trademark is your business and the service that you provide. Your copyright is your intellectual property, which is your songs. If you write music, because some people do the music songwriting, guess what? You got to have a copyright for both of those to make sure that you are protected. And those things, we went through that before with intellectual property, protects you for your whole life, actually, because it's 70 years. Pretty much if you're in your 20s, that's your whole life. And
Yeah,
everything like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So it does protect you. It doesn't stop people from using your stuff, but you have protection when they do, and you can go out there and you can get your money from them using it. So you want to make sure that you are covered in those ways when it comes to music. You want to, because what happened? What did they have? Oh my goodness, the first one where they were downloading music for free. I did it too, because I'm like, oh, free music.
I mean, back in the day, when we had BearShare.
Yeah.
We had a
It
lot of
was one
stuff, and
before
at
that.
that
It was a
point, I
big
didn't.
one.
Used to go over there and get that 50 pack and go and download everything you wanted from them
Yeah.
CDs. What you
It was
want.
a big one, and he almost this one company actually almost
Napster,
bankrupt Napster. That's it. Napster
Napster, them
almost
the ones that broke it
bankrupted the
open.
music industry. Okay, for free music, artists were not getting their money. Napster changed laws when it came to music. That's how bad this boy was. He actually partnered up with the Facebook guy, Mark Zuckerberg, and everything like that. But I remember when Napster came in, and I think I was about in college, and that was wonderful, because before that, you went to the music store, you was buying CDs. Now it's like, oh, I can download this music and it's free.
I
Not
ain't
knowing
gonna lie.
that we were breaking the
I think I
law.
had started. Yeah, man, I would get mad. Because I was not at that point. I started paying for studio time recording, so I understood. Now I went from the guy that was bootlegging to the guy that's now making the music, and I'm getting mad. Like, why you stealing Michael Jackson music? Because I felt it now that I'm spending my money now. So
Yes,
he hit a little different. He hit a little
yes.
different.
And make sure you have a budget when it comes to creating your music, because like he mentioned, studio time costs money. They charge you by the hour. So you see, you will see on TV where people are in the studio all night. They paying for every hour they up in there, and it gets pricey. To be in there again, was in the studio recording and stuff like that. Know how much this stuff costs, okay? And so
That's why.
yeah,
That's why I say master your craft.
yes,
Don't go in there thinking you're gonna get drunk and high off of your budget now, and think okay. You're gonna
mm-hmm,
realize that you got to do it all over again because you ain't taking it serious,
mm-hmm,
and it's on you. It's on you.
mm-hmm,
I give a lot of tips to a lot of people. I would say master what you're doing, master your words, master everything, So when it's
Mhm.
time to press play, you ain't in there with no pen and pad. You in there because you already mastered it. Treat it like as a college
Mhm.
assignment. Treat it like it means the world to you. Come in there
Mhm.
like you want to drop this song. That way you can knock out 2 or 3 songs in 2 hours. That way you already mastering things and you ain't coming up with it off the top. You
Right.
already in there. So you knocking out, because time is money in the music business, or period.
Mhm.
So you knocking out 2, 3 songs in 2 hours because you
Mhm.
know it. You ain't in there writing. Come on now.
Yeah, and make sure you know you could rehearse. That's what it's called. Rehearse your stuff, know
At
the
the
hit
house
stuff, so you
before
can
you
go in
get to the
there.
studio.
Yes, so when you go in the studio, you can get it in there. You can sing it or rap it or yodel it or whatever it is you want
Whatever you
to
doing. Yeah.
do,
Cause trust me,
and
that
get it out
time don't
there.
stop. They
Right?
they they might not tell you they looking at the time, but it's so many clocks and on their computers, they know what time you came in there.
Yeah, and they're going to stop you. If you run out of music, you're gonna have what you have. Because after doing that, they gotta mix it. They gotta polish it up. They have to do all kinds of stuff to you. See, now you're pulling out the music part of me. This is the stuff that they have to do. And guess what? When you record, the mixing it is more money. So
That's a whole separate service.
that's a whole separate service.
You got to
That
get the
you have
song
to do
down pat first.
for you to have a quality product. That's why you have people that come out and be like, "Oh, listen to my music," and it's not quality. I spoke to an artist maybe like a year or so ago. He was like, "Oh, look at my stuff," and it was on YouTube. He's like, "Oh, I went to the studio. It's polished," and I'm sitting there and I'm listening, and I'm like, "Okay." And he asked me, "Oh, what you think?" I'm like, you need to turn the vocals up because I could barely hear you over the music." That's a huge thing. And so you have to make sure that number one, you know the music that when you're listening to it, because to him it was great because he had did it. And I mean, it was a great song, it was great music, but I'm like, I was like, I had the strain to hear what you had to say, and everything like that. And I was like, so and I know he has studios, so I'm like, you have to tell him turn the vocals up just a little bit. So that goes to even when you go to a studio, make sure you're going to somebody who actually knows what they're doing.
Well, I
Because
think
yeah,
that that's more of the engineer's fault, but it just sounded like to me he didn't pay for mix and master. He just did a rough mix and was so excited about getting the song out, he didn't really put all the finishing treatments on the song per se to make it mixed and mastered. You can do a simple mix, and then the artist will be like, "Well, ain't nobody gonna be able to tell." But if you're musically inclined, you can listen to this thing and tell, "Now these levels are
yeah.
off."
Well, supposedly he it was mixed and mastered. That's why I was like, something I can't hear you, and
If
that's what I'm
it
saying.
was
Like you
mixed
said,
and
have an
mastered, he
ear for
need to
that
go
music.
bring his
Yeah,
pen to somebody eye.
yeah,
Because
yeah. And the
the
sad part
level's
is,
supposed to be great.
everyone who listened to it, because he said I had a whole bunch of people who listened to it. Nobody said that. And these were supposed to be people in music. So again, you have to know your craft. You have to be listening. You have to be able to hear all of that stuff because it is going to make a difference in your product. And I just can't believe it. We are actually over the hour in this. It always seems like it happens to me, especially when I'm talking about something I'm passionate about, which is business and music. Thank you so much, MB, for
Blessings. Thank you
this.
for having me.
No problem. You come out with something else and stuff that you need to do, you can always hit us back up, but make sure that you are hitting him up for the shoe, for the music. If you need to have help with music, make sure that you are hitting him up. If you need a music website, hit him up and everything like that. You'll get the 30% off for the shoe. But the next time when you're doing stuff, we're going to have an affiliate link because I'm getting a piece of this for marketing.
Real talk, real talk, real talk, real talk. Yo.
But business is business at the end of the day. But make sure you hit this gentleman up. He definitely knows what he's doing. I knew it when I spoke to him, and we didn't even have a deep conversation about music. Like I said, when he looked me up, the first thing I did was look at his website, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute." He came all humble. I'm like, wait a minute, he did all of this. Okay, let's see what was going on here. But that stuff makes a difference because that's what people will do. Even with your music, the first thing they'll do is Google you to see if there's a website. So make sure that you have your stuff. Make sure you have your business together. If you need business tips, let me know. If you need the music tips and the websites and stuff, let him know. We're both here for you. Make sure you reach out. If you want to be a guest on the show, if you want to sponsor the show or a segment of the show, reach out to me, info@ventureready.net, and we will see you next week.
I had a great time. I see y'all on the website. Let's get it.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of High Tea with Me. To be a sponsor or a guest, contact us at info@ventureready.net. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.